Okay, so I wanted to give an update, and I also have been wanting to make this video for the past few weeks because I'd been searching everywhere on the internet and I couldn't find anything. So after my last video, after we finished up my PICC Lyme, which I don't have anymore, I just have a nice little, see my nice little scar. That's all I have left of George. I started on a month of doxycycline, and after that was over, or actually before that was over, I ended up having surgery to remove my gallbladder, and I think I posted a video about that. As far as how my face is doing, I think it's doing quite a bit better. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to take off my glasses. I'm getting a lot more movement in my eye, this eye, well, this eye looks a lot better, but this eye as well. So I'm really happy about that. And they just didn't really say anything about my face. My neurologist told me that he thinks I'm going to have permanent damage, but he doesn't know what that's going to look like. So we'll wait and see. But what I wanted to go through was kind of what I have been doing differently as far as my Lyme treatment since I got my PICC line out. A lot of people wonder like what remedies or what things they can do to treat Lyme homeopathically or naturally. So I would recommend this book to anybody that is thinking about doing this. And this guy actually has a pretty decent website. Also, if you can't find this book, but I think you can order it online. But basically, it goes through the entire protocol, and it goes, it's very, very, very comprehensive and goes through kind of each supplement, what it does, why they use it, what it's for, what it's used to treat, which was really helpful in kind of guiding me in what I needed to do. So, for example, this was one that was big for me. It was arthritis and pain relief. So it gives you specific kind of protocols and tells you exactly how much to take. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so consult with your healthcare provider before embarking on this, but I'm just going to go through kind of what I do every day. So the first ones that I have are, and if I pronounce these wrong or butcher them, please feel free to let me know. So I take these for neurotoxins. So I take zinc, and sorry, the camera is kind of doing the opposite of everything I do, and selenium. And then, so I have to write it on the bottle because otherwise I'll forget. So I take 2 of these in the morning. I take 2 of these in the morning. Also, another really good thing to do if you're doing a protocol that has a lot of supplements and it's confusing is to either A, write it on the bottle, or embrace your inner 80-year-old and get one of these bad boys. So you have AM on one side, PM on the other, and they're, I don't know if you can tell how big that is, they're pretty decent size. So if I open Thursday up, you can kind of see it can fit, and now they're spilling, a pretty decent amount into each side. So I would just get one of these. It makes everything a lot easier. The next thing that I take is specifically for my Bell's palsy and my eye issues, because I've had such eye issues with this eye, and as you can see, it's blinking a lot and it's like opening a tiny bit. I'll get like brief moments where it opens just like a little bit and then it doesn't hold. So I'm hoping that's a good sign. But so I take magnesium. Gosh, this camera is really, I apologize. So I take magnesium. Vitamin C is always good for you. Then I'm not even going to try this one, but yep, there you go. See, brain function and memory function. So hopefully that will help me additionally. And some of the supplements you take are in the form of tinctures, which basically means it's like liquid form. So you drop it onto your tongue or drop it in a little bowl, like a little tiny bit of water. And they range from tasting like not too bad to bark, dirt, and just basically the most disgusting thing you can imagine, because some of them have like organic alcohol in them. So if you don't want those, I would recommend personally trying to find the ones that don't have the alcohol in it, just because they taste better, especially if you're taking them in the morning. But so this is another one that I take that is specifically for Bell's palsy and ocular involvement. And I take kind of like 3 squirts of it in the morning and then 3 squirts of it at night. And this is the only one, by the way. Most of these are available at like Vitamin Shop. This was the only one that I had to order, and I ordered it from a great website. You can see it's Woodland Essence on the top, and they're a really like green company, and they were very nice. So, and I got a pretty big bottle, and it was I think like $40, so not that bad. Moving on. So the next things I take are for joint pain, just kind of any arthritis, pain that I'm having. So this one is a pretty basic one. A lot of people take this alpha lipoic acid. It protects against free radicals. Here's another tincture. This one is not so bad, but again, you can see it at the top. It says that it contains the organic alcohol, and I take, you can see, oh, there we go. I have to write it on the side. So I take 2 drops in the morning and I take 2 drops at night. And I'm actually almost done with this bottle. I've only had it about 2 weeks, but this is one of the not as bad tasting ones. This stuff is amazing. I went and got it first at a natural pharmacy and to take in place because I was taking like Percocet and stuff for my back because my herniated disc and my arthritis and my joint pain was so bad, and I was taking, or if I wasn't taking that, during the day I was taking like Aleve and nothing helped. So this stuff has been unbelievable. I take 2 in the morning, I take 1 at night, so I'm taking 3 a day, and it's basically like cumin and turmeric, and there's no gluten in it, no dairy, so it's great stuff. So I would highly recommend this. Nettle. This stuff, this is one of those ones that tastes like dirt. It just does. It's, if I can, let's see if I can. It's black. It looks like swamp water, but this one is one, as you can see at the top, it's alcohol free. So those are the ones, in my opinion, I would probably look for if I were doing this again. Moving on. Fatigue, which is a big problem in Lyme disease or any kind of chronic illness. So you have, antioxidants that promote health and energy, CoQ10, which is kind of another basic one. So I take once at night. You can see I write it on the bottle. This is another tincture, which is amazing. I take it in the morning, 3 squirts. This is the best tasting one that there is. If you want to try one, I would say go with this one. So I just do 3 squirts and I wash it down with just water. I just put them directly on my tongue. I don't mix it with water. I find it just better to do it that way. B12. So B12 is kind of one of those things where people are not quite sure what the deal is. Do I just take pills? Do I do a sublingual? Like that's what this is. Or I squirt it under my tongue. Do I do a lozenge, which are these? So you put it in your mouth and let it dissolve. Do I do shots, which I just had one last week? So everybody's different. And part of what I'm struggling with is that I have absorption issues as far as vitamin goes, which kind of complicates Lyme disease and trying to get better and taking all of this stuff because my body just doesn't absorb certain things like salt, B12, vitamin D, iron, all, stuff that you need. So from what I know of B12, there are 2 different kinds. So the kind that you take just in pill form is probably going to do nothing for you. 80% of people, you don't absorb anything that way because it comes in 2 kind of concentrates. So the first one that's in like the oral pill form, your body actually has to convert that to methyl B12, and that's what this is. You can see it. See, methyl B12. So the methyl version is the one that's actually usable by your body. So only 80% of people can do that. So you're kind of doing a disservice to yourself. So I would recommend that if you really are fatigued and hoping this helps and wanting to try something and you're saying, hey, I've been taking B12 for a while, it's not really working, then this also would be, you could try these. They're not bad tasting. I think this one, what does it say? Sometimes it says they taste like, like orange or berry or whatever. This one has got a little red dot on the top of it. So anyway, So this would be one. I don't take this one, but Matt does. It's sublingual, so you put it under your tongue. And that just is a way, your body is just going to absorb it faster than the swallowing it, like I said. If you know you have absorption problems, or would just rather take something that doesn't taste like dirt, you can take these, methyl B12, and they're cherry flavored, and they're about, I'll show you, get one out. Yay big, tiny, and it's basically tastes like a Flintstone, and you just put it in your mouth and wait for it to dissolve, and that's it. I just take one of those in the morning. Okay, almost done. The last thing that you have to take, I have been on antibiotics since October 3rd, and I continue to be on antibiotics. I just take oral antibiotics right now. So because of that, you have to be really careful with your digestive health. It's really important because the antibiotics, is killing all the good bacteria that you have, especially in your stomach. So this, if you've been on antibiotics for a really long time, would be the first really good one to get on because it has, you can see, 50 billion strains, and then you can kind of titrate down. They have 20 billion, 10 billion. I think this is like $30. I got it at like Whole Foods. And I take one of these every day in the morning. I also take vitamin D, which is good for digestive health, but it's also good for mood. It's good for kind of a lot of things. You can get it naturally from sunlight, so it's especially important in the winter to get this, and this you can get anywhere. And then this is, so here's another probiotic, and you can see it's a little bit different. This one only has 10 billion, which is fine. You can end up going down to that one, but since I've been on them for so long, I take, I'm sorry, the camera is not agreeing with me at all. I take this one in the morning, and then I take this one at night, just to make sure that I have all my bases covered. Last but not least, you're saying, okay, well, you're treating Lyme homeopathically. What else are you doing? Okay, so I've cut gluten out of my diet. And in another recent thing, because I had mentioned I have malabsorption issues, that I have to do a gluten challenge and go back on gluten for a month and then do blood test for celiacs because I'm having kind of a really hard time absorbing all this great stuff I'm putting in my body. So we're trying to figure out what the problem is with that. But that would be another recommendation of things that you can do kind of naturally to help. I also am going to start doing acupuncture, yes, on my face for my Bell's palsy and for pain. I'm also going to physical therapy twice a week for my back, and that has been going pretty well. We've really been working on like my posture and kind of my like neck muscles and stuff like that. I think we're gonna have to revisit the actual herniated disc issue, but that's for another day. So the only things that I'm really still doing that are, if you want to call them Western medicine or traditional medicine, is this. It's called Florinef. I take one of these in the morning. There's my little label, one. That's to raise my blood pressure because, like I said, I don't absorb salt properly, so I have really, really low blood pressure. I have orthostatic hypotension, which means when I stand up, my blood pressure falls. So this keeps me, that little tiny pill keeps me from fainting or passing out, which is a good thing. And I'm also still on doxycycline. I take one in the morning, one at night. Still doing that. So that's kind of all I have, but I wanted to kind of, I had been looking really for a rundown of just an idea of what certain people do homeopathically for Lyme disease, where you get this stuff, what does it mean? Because you read it in a book and you're like, what is that? What's a tincture? Or what is this? Or how often do I take it? So like I said, as far as the recommendations, it would be really good if you had a doctor to talk to, or if you go to like an all-natural pharmacy, they can tell you how much to take. But this book also is really good in giving you suggestions of kind of like what the dosages are and I'm sorry, what to do. So I'm sorry, I'm coughing and losing my voice. Anyway, so that is kind of what I've been doing and what I'm going to continue to do, and hopefully we're going to start seeing some improvement. It's always good to try something different, try something new, and just see what sticks. So that's all for now. Bye.